I like this one.
We got a lot of things to talk about here, such as a Death Stranding new trailer, The Last of Us release date, Final Fantasy's combat, people are not liking it, my general overall thoughts of state of play, and Days Gone being on top of the PlayStation Network downloads. Let's kick this shit off with my state of play thoughts, to be honest with you. There were a lot of people that were actually upset about it. And honestly, the question I have is, what were you expecting? That's what I'm asking. Were you expecting them to show you The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima and Death Stranding? Because if I recall, there was complaints about that. People were complaining about you showing the same games. You want to see something new, and I hope you wasn't expecting anything new. 10 minutes. In a 10-minute video. That doesn't make any sense. So I was really curious about that. What were you expecting, the people who were disappointed about it? Me personally, I feel like they're lowering expectations for sure. Either that or they're trying to build up a crescendo of some sort. We all know that Microsoft has the stage of E3, and Sony is not going to be at E3 in a major capacity. So I want to know what they're doing with that one. If you ask me, it's a little bit of both. I feel like what they're doing is giving you little snippets, little this, little that. If I can liken it to something, it'd be like foreplay. They playing with the little cooch a little bit. You know what I mean? They're rubbing on the stuff, and they're gonna do it more and more, and then they're gonna hit you with the fucking like the big bangers. Now, what I see, I know that's like lewd as shit, but I don't give a fuck. What I think is going to happen, honestly, is, Microsoft's going to do their thing, and then they're going to show a Death Stranding trailer, which gets me right into my next topic. So supposedly, I saw on Twitter, someone said that Kojima has finished the Death Stranding trailer that they're going to release later on, in June, actually. So I feel like that is going to tie into The Last of Us and its release date. Like, I feel like they already have that shit in the bag. If anyone doesn't think, even though I have my personal opinion on The Last of Us and just Naughty Dog and their future, what do you call it? Their future plans, their future outlook on titles and just their I don't know. There's social justice warrior shit to me when I see Naughty Dog games. But I will say that The Last of Us 2 will be a heavy hitter, a huge seller. I mean, it did wonders for the PlayStation 3. It did absolute wonders. They blew that shit completely out of the water. It was it was very story driven. And it was one of the best stories, or I should say, it was directed. One of the best directed games of any generation, to be perfectly honest with you. It was very movie-esque. And it was pretty good. In terms of gameplay, multiplayer was stellar, and gameplay was it was a story, it was a narrative, it was a single player narrative. And I know a lot of people will hit me up with, oh my gosh, you mean The Last of Us was a masterpiece. It had terrible AI, because they couldn't see Ellie. I get what they were doing, but it wasn't, you know what I mean? It's funny because they slam Days Gone for having bad AI and glitches and shit like that when, The Last of Us had frame rate issues. It had poor AI. The AI that they showed at E3 before the game was released, I'm talking about Last of Us 1, wasn't anywhere close to what actually was, what you got in the final product. They didn't really flank you or do anything like that. They did a lot of cheap, programming tricks to make it seem like it was very, interactive when it really wasn't. Point in case, like if you boot up The Last of Us and then throw something to get the enemy's attention, they will find you because they're programmed to find you. They will just keep backing up closer and closer and pretending like they're not really looking for you. And then all of a sudden they're backing it up into you, shit, twerking it on you, and then you're fucking spotted. That's how they program it. But the selling point for the game was definitely the narrative. So that being said, yeah, this game is going to be big. I feel like all the little shortcomings they had with the technology last generation was the reason for that. Now they have to do it, and Ellie is not going to be one of those characters, what it looks like in the trailers, that they're going to be sitting there telling another character. So I mean, when I see it, you know what I mean. I feel like all of the crazy stuff that we saw way back in 2011, 2012, when they were showing like the AI would be, self-preservating. They protect themselves and stuff like that. They are definitely going to add that into this game, and they don't need a secondary AI character to make invisible to hinder the immersion and stuff like that. So, despite the social justice warrior direction that they're going, Naughty Dog I'm talking about, is still gonna be a banger. So just showing because look at it, the state of play is shut fucking the internet down just for the state of play. You know what I mean? So whatever Microsoft has to offer, because they're not showing anything next generation, they're going to shut it down with that announcement. Point blank. It's just interesting, you know what I mean? When I talk about, when I talk about the Last of Us, and when I talk about what Sony is going to be doing in the future, and this the state of play videos that they've been shooting out, lately and stuff like that. And it's just like, what were you guys expecting? I just didn't know. I didn't understand what anyone was expecting about that. But I'm rambling on to that. I've talked long enough about that. On to the next subject. And that is Final Fantasy VII Remake battle system. There are a lot of fans for The Last of Us. A shit ton of fans. There are a lot of fans. Not The Last of Us. Damn, I'm fucking it up. Final Fantasy VII. And a lot of people are stuck with nostalgia. This is the nostalgia generation, honestly. They don't want to see the battle system change. They want the same, I forgot what it was called, materia or something like that. They want that same battle system. But you gotta understand, this game isn't just for fan service. This is trying to indoctrinate new people into the Final Fantasy genre and stuff like that. This is for them as well. And it's called a Final Fantasy VII Remake. Not a remaster, but a remake. This is a reimagining of sorts of the Final Fantasy VII. That's what it is. I mean, just slow your roll. We don't know exactly what's going on with the battle system. I know I like turn-based to a degree, but I also like action, active battle systems that they have going on with the newer games. I mean, I don't know. We don't know. Supposedly, too, is still going to be episodic. So it's going to be an episodic game. So it's like, what are they going to do with it? I don't know. We don't know. The videos, you can't tell what the battle system is going to be. Because truthfully, I can't tell. I didn't know when I played Days Gone. I had no idea it was going to feel this good. It looked pretty boring to me until I put my hands on it. So you don't know if you're going to like it or not. I mean, people are so afraid of change and shit like that. Fucking relax. Just let them do them. This is the problem with gaming in general. Like, you got these gamers that don't make games telling these developers what the fuck to do, and they're trying to appease people. Let motherfuckers make their games. Like, how would you feel if you were making something and they shut you down? Your fans shut you down. You lose creative freedom and all sorts of shit. Let them do them. Shit. Anyway, the last topic I want to talk about is Days Gone. I didn't want to put this news out there, to be perfectly honest with you, because I'm not exactly sure if this is true. Because it is May, and Days Gone was released April, is it May? Yeah, it is May. April 26th. Damn, time is flying. But I don't know. I didn't want to say anything. I definitely didn't want to put it out there. But they're saying that it was top of the downloads for PlayStation in the US. And if that is true, which I feel like it is, Good damn show. Good show, Ben Studios, and you deserve it. I feel like this is starting to, come into a crescendo of people just revolting against, social justice warrior and shit like that. All that other bullshit. And people are starting to get a brain. They're getting a brain. Use your own mind, and people are loving Days Gone. I love it. But anyway, that's it for the video. Let me know in the comments what you liked about the video, and if you liked it, a sub will be appreciated.